be doing a bit of quilting on this adorable, it's like a little table topper. Once it's finished, it'll be trimmed down to a circle and then be adorable on a table topper. Anyways, today I'm going to be quilting this, but how do I quilt something like this that has such irregular sides? How do I do that on the long arm? Now, I should insert my little disclaimer right here. I'm telling you guys all the time that I never float my quilt tops. And then I show you something like this and I'm totally going to float this. Even though I'm going to float it, I am still going to baste what fits here in my throat space. And then as I work through the quilt, I will continue to baste. Something that I will also do instead of basting, if I feel like I'm getting any movement or anything in it, it's pretty small, so I probably shouldn't have a lot of movement, but if I do, I sometimes will go through with my corsage pins and just pin the quilt top in place. Anyways, I'm gonna bring you down here and show you how I baste around this, and then hopefully you'll find a little bit of inspiration. Okay, so because this quilt is pretty small, I do have my backing attached to my leaders. I don't pin, but I do have it attached there. And then I do actually have 2 layers here of the Quilter's Dream blend batting. It's actually what I had just in my stash, so I thought, let's try that. 2 layers of that, and let's see what fun texture I'm able to bring to life on this quilt. All right, so how do I treat this and how do I baste it? Because it is kind of an irregular, well, obviously it's a circle, usually what I do is start at the top and baste along the top edge and then down the sides. But with this, what I'm going to do is start right here at the top and I'll baste over to this side, then I'll cut my threads, come back up to here, and then baste down this side. If I feel like there's any movement or anything, I can go through and add some corsage pins to keep it in place. But because it is pretty small, I don't expect any movement. So when I do my basting, often you'll see me using my left hand. I'll kind of hold it up here and guide it along. But what I'm doing is just helping the fabric, you know, get as flat and smooth as I can. But then you'll also see me taking a single stitch on the machine with my right hand. I like to do this single stitch method because it's a way that I can control exactly where my machine is taking a stitch. With this basting stitch, I could, you know, set it, use the machine, do like a stitch every 3/4 of an inch, which is probably about what I'm doing, a 1/2 inch to a 3/4. But personally, I just love the little bit of extra control I'm able to have by using this method. So once I've stitched around that side, then I'll come back up here and stitch over to the left side. So I'll repeat that all the way over here. As I continue to work through the quilt, I'll baste the sides as I go. And then once I reach the bottom, I'll bring you back and show you how I'll baste along that bottom edge. All right, since we've basted it, I might as well show you how I'm going to quilt this. You can see over here I have started a bit of the quilting, and I'm actually still thinking, I've left this area right here open with no quilting. I'm usually a heavy quilter, so I usually would fill something in there, but I kind of am liking the simplicity of it and the way it just kind of is making the star pop a little bit. So for now, I'm going to leave it as is. Also through this point on this star right here, I've already gone through and quilted straight lines using the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler that are all evenly spaced a 1/2 inch apart. I decided that this fabric is really going to become the focal. You know, sometimes prints just really take on the focus, so I wanted to keep my quilting a little bit more simplistic. So now I'm going to bring you over here and show you what I'll do is I'll first quilt a line that's a 1/2 inch away from the side of the star, and then this line will be 1 inch away from the side of this line. So 1/2 inch spacing, 1 inch spacing, and then 1/2 inch spacing again. Then from there, I'll fill in all of the background with that swirl design. It's always one of my favorite designs to quilt. And then I will also show you how to quilt those straight, or how I'm going to quilt these straight lines through one of the points. And again, like I said, when I get down to the bottom, I will show you how I'll approach that. But let's hop right into this quilting. So I did actually, the very first thing that I did was start out by stitching in the ditch just along this top portion of the star. And I did that very first because I am floating this, like I said, crazy, but it also acts kind of as a stabilizer to help keep everything in place. So this is ruler quilting that I'm going to start with. So I do have my ruler foot here on my gamma machine because I do all my quilting on a gamma. I always make sure I have the proper tools on the proper machine, but I also have my ruler base here, which creates this nice flat working surface along lot of times I get the comment that my quilts look really tight on my frame, but it's really just because you're seeing this ruler base. Anyways, so I'm also going to be using my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, which I do have our Piece and Quilt pop socket ruler grip attached here to the top of the ruler. I'm going to use this one versus like the mini because I like that it's a little bit longer for these longer lines. So this first line that I'm going to be quilting is I want it to be spaced a 1/2 inch away from this side here. So what I'll do is line up this 1/2 inch marking on the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler. That means that my stitching is going to be a 1/2 inch away from here. Even though on the ruler it only measures a 1/4 inch, I'm also taking into consideration the space that's added from the outside of the ruler foot to the needle position. So hopefully that's clear as mud and makes a little bit of sense. It's the same whether you're on a sit-down machine or a long arm. You always need to have a ruler foot and a ruler base and the proper tools. Okay, so let's stitch that first line. Make sure you always use gentle pressure. Once I stitch all the way down to here, I'm just eyeballing. Looks like I'm not quite far enough, so I'll take a couple more stitches. All right, now I am. Now I'll change directions and keep going. Okay, so moving on, the next spacing that I'm going to be using here is going to be that 1 inch spacing. So I'll just travel up this side over here, and I'm traveling to the point where now my 1 inch marked line on the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler is right on top of that previous stitch line. Now I do it pretty quick, but anytime you're stopping, readjusting, changing directions, make sure you do make your machine stop with the needle in the down position so that you can adjust and nothing moves, everything stays right where it needs to be. So there's that spacing, and now I'll go back to another 1/2 inch space line. All right, so that is that echo, and I'll repeat that, as I advance down the quilt on the left side, I'll just do this exact same thing one section at a time. When you really start to break things down into smaller units, they kind of become a little bit less overwhelming. All right, so at this point now I'll go right into that swirl. That's the filler that I'm going to do in here. I love machine quilting swirls, but something I'm always thinking about as I swirl in, I need to leave enough space to swirl back out, and then remembering echoing is your friend. All right, so I finished that first pass. Now I've advanced the quilt. Remember, it's still floating here. But what I'll do now is I'll go through and baste down this side as far as my throat space will allow. Then I'll hop over here and baste down this side as well. I'll add my clamps and then I'll start quilting. You're going to see, I'll show a little bit of this, but when I am quilting this next section right here, the whole entire thing is not going to fit in my throat space. So I'll quilt the first echo and then I'll actually stop as far down here as I can and tie off my threads. I'll do that a couple of times, filling in with that echo line. That's not always how I think is the most ideal way, but sometimes to get the results you want, you have to do things like that. Anyways, let's get basting. I should add that usually, well, no, on all quilts, I do require that the backings are at least 4 inches larger than the quilt top on all 4 sides. And because it's a circle, obviously on the top and bottom it is, we definitely should have made it way larger here. It does present a little bit of a challenge. Sometimes my ruler base will want to hit into those. So yes, sometimes my quilt backings on my own quilts aren't what they should be. All right, so I've got that basted. Now I'm going to hop into the quilting. I think I'll start with this section right here and I'll bring you down and show you how I'm going to quilt that. Okay, so I'm picking up here and I'll start out by traveling along here, stitching, I guess not in the ditch, but right on the edge of the applique. Or along the edge, I should say. The thread color that I'm using here is this So Fine color number 452. And even though it's kind of like a creamy color, I still think it blends really nice. And it makes those swirls and the background texture just really pop. Okay, so in this area, I'm going to fill in with straight lines that are all evenly spaced 1/2 inch apart. And to do that, I'll start out down here by lining up this side of the, well, actually I'm going to stitch along that side of the applique right there. And then I'll line up that 1/2 inch marked line on the ruler right on top of that stitch line, stitch my first line, and then repeat, just working back and forth. So there's my first line, and that's kind of what creates the foundation for all of these straight lines. I'll base all of the lines off of that. So I'm traveling across that ditch up there, moving over a 1/2 inch. So lining up this first marked line on the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler right on top of that edge. Engage the machine, apply gentle pressure, and here we go. Okay, so I'm making good progress. It's sometimes kind of fun to quilt smaller things. I suggest doing it because there's a lot of instant gratification that comes from finishing a project in one day. Anyway, so I've gotten to this point. Now the bottom portion of my circle quilt is up here on my throat space. So what I'll do is now baste along this bottom edge. And like I've done across the top and showed you before, I just like to run that single stitch. And this is another great place why I love to use this single stitch method. You can see how I'm really, and as I continue to work around that circle, I can just work my fabric in and try to get things as smooth as possible. So I'll just keep basting like this, working all the way across. So there have been times, and I may even do it on this one, where I'll baste down to this middle point, and then I'll come over here and baste on that side down to the middle point just to keep things as flat as I can. I loved machine quilting. This little circle quilt is actually so much fun. Like I said, sometimes it's nice to have something that you can finish in one day just for that little bit of instant gratification after quilting lots of large quilts. Sometimes those bigger ones, you just need a break. Anyways, I hope you did find a bit of inspiration. I'm going to take this quilt off the frame. Like to pin my quilts to my leaders. I generally don't float them, so usually when I get down to the end of the quilt, before I do that basting, then I'll remove the quilt top from the leader. But on this quilt, it was a little bit different because I didn't quilt it that way. Anyways, enough talking. I hope you did find a bit of inspiration. And if you want to see more videos like this, where I go more in depth into my full process of custom machine quilting, incredible quilts from start to finish, check out the Peace and Quilt Academy. Over in the Academy, when you enroll, you gain instant access to over 170 videos where I take you, it's like hanging out with me in the studio and I'm sharing all the things machine quilting. You can find all the details for that over on our website, peaceandquilt.com. But before you do run over there, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will be back again next Monday with another machine quilting video. See y'all later.